Hello. Okay, this is different today. I'm using a different software. So, going straight through YouTube and not using StreamYards today. So, bear with me. I just want to make sure I did everything correctly. That's what I was doing earlier when you saw one of my live streams go up, if you got notified for that. Um, Please let me know if you notice anything different. Those of you that might stay and hang out in the chat. Hello, Angel. Hello, the girl. Hello, Bernadette. What's up? And happy hump day. So, if you notice anything different and you're here often, please let me know. This is going to be a little bit different for me. I'm used to all the luxuries of StreamYards, and I'm used to knowing the timestamps right off the bat. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for me. I don't know if somebody today could help me with timestamps. Even if you see it in the chat, maybe I will, so I can put it up, because I don't know how to do it this way with the way I'm doing it. Right? I don't see a timing thing on it. So if you guys could help me, that would be great. Otherwise, I will figure it out afterwards. Timestamps will be up as soon as I can get them up. Um, but I don't know how to do it this way. So bottom line. So hi Gigi, hi Vatina, hi Lori, what's up? VR, Janelle, what's up? Let me know definitely though if you notice a better quality here. Do you guys see the time on your screen? Whatever, let's see. I think I can figure it out here. I'm gonna try and guess that I'm starting it off at 3:33. Maybe it's just set up a little bit differently. All right. Um, am I good? Do you see the quality? Do you see everything coming through? Uh, if you can give me a thumbs up. All right. All right. Let's see. Everything looks good, April, right? So I'm not sure about the timing either, how this is working. So I'm assuming, because it's just starting at a different time. I'll try and do it and see if I'm correct. I think I have it. Does it seem like the quality's good? No lag. You can hear my audio and everything. But remember, I can't put up Aries. Like, I can't put the title on the screen. So that's going to be the problem here, is that you will not see who I'm on. So that will be a problem. So I am going to start Aries off at 3:33 like I usually do. So 3:33 is Aries. We're going to look at the biggest shift this week. I do not have the title on the screen, so I will say Aries as much as possible, but when the video is done, it will be up. All right. So the biggest shift right now for you, what is changing in your energy? Well, you get the Sun card, overall energy, at the bottom of the deck, right? So that's Leo energy. All right, so that's a big sign. This is your birthday. Happy birthday. That's my birthday card. It says things are actually looking really well for you, really good for you. You've got a very good energy around you of cleansing, reset, things looking good, things coming to light, clarity and truth, a blessing coming your way, right? And here's the Empress card for you. So the biggest shift is something is coming into formation. Something is manifesting for you when it comes to love. All right, something that you may have planted seeds with in the past. You may have been waiting for something to grow. So you've been really focused on something. You've been taking care of yourself, doing your thing. You're looking really good, like I said. And this is a birth of something. So some of you, this could even indicate a pregnancy that could be shifting in somebody's life. And that's so funny, because it is. I know in Aries that's happening, and this card here is coming out. So whatever's happening for you right now is really big. If you look at that, with the Sun and the Empress card, is saying that a lot of things are starting to show up for you that is going to actually change the route that you're on. So whatever's happening now, it might be the beginning stages that you're in, but it definitely has room to really grow as we move forward. So your person, their shift, I see the Seven of Wands. All right, seems like they're coming towards you, maybe to speak up for themselves, right? It looks like, you know, I've got something to stay. I've got something to say. You know, maybe I have been, your person has been a little bit distant from you in a sense that it just feels like there was always pushback, right? Or their guards were up, right? So we're seeing somebody's guards come down, and somebody here realizing that they might be the challenge for you. They have been very challenging for you. You're looking, you know, the Empress card here, you know, this is somebody that knows your worth, knows what you want, and your person is saying, you know, you are somebody that deserves, you know, what you want, what you need from me. So maybe I have been a little bit kind of blocked or blocking you or pushing you away. But you know, what I'm realizing is that this is worth fighting for. This is worth moving towards. This is worth the challenge, right? So your person is like ready to gear up and go. So how is this going to change the connection with you and this person? I see the Eight of Pentacles, right? So this is bringing you guys closer. So look at it like, if you've been sitting in an energy, Seven of Pentacles, right? And you've been like, what's going on? What's the plan, Stan? Where are we going? Why does it seem like, you know, there's growth, but sometimes it doesn't seem like we're getting anywhere. But now you're seeing what's shifting with your person is they are showing up, they're stepping up, and they're realizing that they're the ones that maybe need to apply more effort, be more consistent with you, show up for you. You know, you've done enough. So if some of you have been feeling lately like, I know I'm doing everything I can, I know, you know, I don't want to second guess myself, I know everything is going great, then you're pulling back maybe a little bit, and just your behavior, your actions is showing somebody that they need to shift and step up. So what can you do right now with this? And then what I'm going to do with Aries through Pisces for you is I'm just going to do a yes, no, a really quick yes, no, right? So if you have a question about your specific zodiac sign, the person on your mind, I will do that for you. So get your questions ready, all right? So I do see Taurus and Libra energy showing up for you right now. So Venus, right? Venus is really, really big, and this is bringing love. This is, you know, relationship stuff for you. Of course, it could be money, and it's also your worth and your values really being heightened. And because it's your season, the Sun card is saying you're just glowing, right? So there's nothing you really have to do with this major arcana except make sure you're being authentic and clear with your intentions as well. All right, so what you can do right now, look at this, the Seven of Pentacles is showing up on you. You know, this is telling me not to panic. I already explained to you that if you've been wondering whether you should still invest in something, or, you know, where things are going or which direction, this is saying be clear with the Sun card. Express what you want, express what you need. This could be a really good time for somebody really seeing you with the Sun card. You know, somebody could be even falling in love with you or being in love with you, but the Seven of Wands says, I'm just not ready to let you know how vulnerable I am, right? Or what my truth really is. So Seven of Pentacles is asking you to have a little bit more patience with somebody here. You know, the Empress card stepping back a little bit. But when I say the word patience, I don't mean wait. I don't mean do anything else. I don't mean stress yourself out. I mean just trust and expect that somebody here is getting ready to come in and defend their position with you. All right, so if you are connected to an Aries through Pisces, Aries through Pisces. Think of your question, Aries through Pisces. I will give you a yes or no. And if you are in that chat, if you notice, I pinned the comment that I'm picking 1 to 3 people at the end. Whoever keeps that chat going, I will pull a card for you for clarification. I will pick the top 3 fans. I think there's a list here where I can look at who's the top chat. All right, so Aries, the answer is no, especially if you're in your head about a situation, you're trusting your negative thoughts, right? For Taurus, think of your question. The answer is yes. For Gemini, the answer is yes for Gemini. And you have the Star card too. You have the Ace of Pentacles for Taurus. I can't help but say other things besides the yes or no. I'm sorry. But I'm seeing a new beginning with Taurus. I'm seeing, you know, the happy ending with a Gemini, right? Things will turn out in your favor. Cancer, I see yes, and you have the Chariot card, so things about to speed up with you and Cancer. Leo, you have a yes, you have a 3 of Wands, so it looks like you're making plans to move forward with a Leo. Virgo, I see yes, I see 3 of Cups, so a happier outcome, right? Getting together, socializing, you know, things looking up. Libra, I see a yes. I see a 4 of Pentacles though, so you do see a kind of a stubborn energy with a Libra, all right? They hold back, they're a little bit closed off. Scorpio, I see a yes, but you have the 7 of Wands, right? So we're seeing that persistence. We're seeing we're going to get through this. We're going to make it work. Sagittarius, I see a no. I see a Tower card, but you have some truths coming to light with a Sagittarius. Capricorn, I see a yes. Expect something really fast and fun and furious coming in with a Capricorn. Aquarius, a maybe, the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Wands. That tells me there's a maybe, there's another option here, or you guys are both dealing with something else, and it is what it is, right? So it's a maybe. Pisces, I see a maybe as well with a Pisces, 2 of Swords. So it's like they're still confused about which path they want to take. All right, my beautiful Aries. All right, let's see if I can get this correct now. So let's see, we have Taurus. I'm going to say Taurus at 1212. All right, it seems to be the same numbers I've had before. All right, Taurus. Again, there's no titles today because I'm using a different software. So maybe I'll have to get again, like I used to do in the past, a little bit of a sign here if I'm going to go this route, if it seems like it's working better, the clarity and everything else. But let's see, Taurus, what's the biggest shift changing right now in your love life? And I'll do a quick yes or no for Aries through Pisces, so get your question ready. All right, you have the 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, right? We all love that card. Taurus, things looking good, looking delish, right? Somebody thinks you look delish. Somebody's pretty happy with you. Of course, the 9 of Cups can be you definitely satisfy me, satisfy my needs. It's also a wish being granted for you this week when it comes to love. All right, and I see the High Priestess. All right, so what's shifting is some sort of secret that you may not be aware of could be coming to light right now, right? Somebody's got their eye on you. Somebody's observing you, watching your every move. Not in a creepy way. I don't like to call in those kind of energies. If so, send them back to the light where they came from, wherever, the darkness, wherever they need to go, right? But the High Priestess says somebody really is intrigued by you, so maybe something you've been doing lately. You've been pulling your energy back. Maybe they pulled their energy back just to test you. They feel this connection, but it could be a test, right? We don't like tests, but, come on, reality is, you got to test everything just to make sure somebody's being real. So somebody could be challenging you right now, and with this kind of energy, you could want to, go after it, get what you want because you know it, right? But to me, it feels like let them marinate, let them like what they see. Apparently, they do like what they see when it comes to you. So maybe you're doing something that makes you look good, or maybe they like when you do pull away and you do stuff and you don't always tell them what you're up to. If you're like me, you tend to tell the people you care about, even online here. I tell you step by step everything I think and do, which isn't the smartest move. And, but even in relationships, I seem to give a breakdown of this is what I did, this is what I'm doing. Let them be a little bit more intrigued about what you're up to. So maybe it is. Maybe you gotta, just say, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a couple of days and don't tell them where you're going, right? So this is what I'm seeing, which is shifting. So what's going on with them? The 4 of Swords, they're starting to get overwhelmed. So if there's been a little bit of space here, or you feel like they pulled back, because you can see the energy of quiet, right? Maybe this time is different. Maybe you've given somebody a little bit of quiet time, or you've been in no communication with somebody and you have decided not to be the first one to check in, right? It looks like you've got your person here really kind of stressing about it. They can't hide it for much longer, right? So let's see what this is doing for your connection. And I see the 7 of Pentacles showing up for you as well, too. So it looks like there's a turning point. It looks like somebody's really considering feeling that they need to make a move or make a plan with you. They need to step up. So if they've been keeping you holding or keeping, keeping things familiar and not making any change here, it looks like the pressure's on them, that they have to make some sort of choice this week, and decide where they want to take this relationship. They can't keep, sitting back and, tucking it under the rug or hoping that things will just figure itself out. It looks like they're going to take some sort of action this week when it comes to where things are going. All right. But you do see that there's a slight pause here. So what does Spirit think you should do right now? And I see the Queen of Cups. So you are being asked to just show yourself, right? Just look good and trust your intuition this week and your abilities to be able to read energy, read other people. All right. Somebody's falling for you, and a relationship is definitely reaching a different height right now, where somebody's actually in their feelings, more attracted, wants to be around you, maybe seeing that you act differently when you're off on your own or doing other things. Maybe you present yourself differently without realizing it. Well, you see that somebody here is in their emotions and they're really attracted to you, and this is deep feelings, right? So you're being asked to just keep showing up the way you are, but not, this is more of a feminine energy, pulling back and letting somebody want what they see, all right? Because this is going to turn out in your favor. This is a blessing coming in for you, all right? So let's see, think of Aries through Pisces. Think of your question. Aries through Pisces, I'm going to give a yes, no, with the question that's on your mind. All right, Aries, you have a yes, 8 of Wands, all right? So speeding up, things moving in quick, a lot of passion. Taurus, I see, look at this, the 9 of Cups. That's the second 9 of Cups you have for confirmation. So if you like confirmation, there it is. All right. So joy, fulfillment, success coming your way, rewards, stay confident, right? You're getting a yes with a Taurus. Gemini, we're getting a yes, but give it a little bit more time, all right? You have moderation, you have the timing card, right? So this is about finding peace during the chaos. Cancer, yes, 4 of Wands. There could be a return, a reuniting, or just hanging out, or an event coming in. Leo, yes, justice coming in, all right? So figuring out some sort of dispute that you've been having. You have honesty coming in with the Leo. Virgo, yes, same thing. You have success, a breakthrough, clarity coming in with a Virgo. Libra, we have maybe 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords says we can move forward, and things could clear up, but don't avoid or tuck things under the rug, because they'll come back to bite you in the ass later. So you could be moving on and getting furious about it, or they could or you guys could be moving on. So a maybe. All right. Scorpio, I see a no, 3 of Swords. It looks like Scorpio here is dealing with some heartache, or you guys have a recent separation maybe that you're still kind of trying to work through. Sagittarius, I see a yes. Things coming together with a Sagittarius. Capricorn, a yes. A strength card, all right? So building a strong bond. Aquarius, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Aquarius, a yes, right? Stay confident. Don't underestimate yourself. Pisces, a yes. Also stay confident and don't underestimate yourself. Things could switch fast. All right. So let's see. Hello. Hello, FG. Hello, Miss Cassandra. Hello, Lisa. What's up? Do you guys notice a difference yet in the quality or anything different with the stream that's noticeable? If not, that's great. But I definitely want to know. All right. Gemini. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. All right, Gemini. I don't have the titles on the screen. I'm using a different software. The timestamps will be up afterwards. Gemini at 2020. What is your biggest shift? What is your biggest shift right now? All right, the biggest shift in love. You have the Nine of Pentacles, looking good, right? So this is a card of, you know, stepping up and feeling good, right? Feeling successful about the work that you've put in with something, right? It could be, I am going to say the biggest shift too, it could be somebody entering your life, right? Somebody becoming single, somebody wanting to, somebody who's available, emotionally available, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, all right? And if you are dealing with a water sign, this can tell me that things are deepening between the two of you. You're learning to trust one another, all right? And the Nine of Pentacles, somebody definitely trusts you. So let's see. Now that does give a very single, available, looking good type of energy. So those of you who are single or recently single, you could be attracting somebody new into your life. But regardless, Gemini, that's a really good energy for you, that of promise of something very successful around love. The biggest shift, King of Pentacles. So we have two kings showing up for you. So many of you, maybe you already know you have a couple people in your life and you're trying to choose between which way to go, all right? But now we're starting to see a direction. And again, if some of you are single, which it keeps wanting to come through, there could be a couple options coming your way. This could be somebody that's work related or somebody that you see in your everyday routine. But you are seeing the biggest shift that's happening is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles talks about the long-term goals and plans starting to come to fruition, things looking good, feeling successful, feeling like everything that you do or say is working, right? Everything you touch is turning to gold is one of the famous sayings of a King of Pentacles. So that means that something that you've been dealing with, you've been working for, or you've been finally maybe manifesting or realizing is starting to have an actual plan, right? So we could be seeing a new direction in a relationship. So let's see your person. I'm seeing the 10 of Wands. This makes a huge sense now. Now your person, what's changing with them is they may be reaching a breaking point, right? You get to the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. Those cards can be two of the hardest cards to deal with, especially if you're connecting with somebody that's going through a hard time or leaving another relationship, or it's you, right? So we are seeing that single and available type of energy. So somebody may be, your person may be releasing something that's really been weighing on them lately. They're finally realizing that all their energy is going somewhere that's not healthy, and they want something new. They want to feel good. They want a new direction in their life, right? So that's where we're seeing here. What's shifting is your person on your mind is actually having some sort of revelation about how life could be easier, if we just kind of work together. And your person may in the past have been somebody that maybe was difficult to deal with, hard to deal with. It's somebody that doesn't like help from other people. It's somebody that may get triggered easily because they're under a lot of stress. It's somebody that may just feel like, I'm up against the world by myself, and, I have a lot going on. All right. So this is really, really important that your person is actually realizing, this isn't what's going on in my life is I need change. I need something different. All right. I need a new plan, right? So how is this going to affect you and them? I see the Knight of Cups. This is awesome. This feels like somebody taking the appropriate next step. I'm in love, or I really want love. Right? So it can be either way. I'm really ready for love. I'm ready for something that's real. I'm ready for less pressure. I'm ready for, not making things, so complicated, or, maybe we make things too complicated. It can be a two-way street, so don't get triggered. It can be, if this is somebody that you're currently dealing with and things have gotten very heavy, your person realizing that it's not worth the heaviness. Losing you is not worth the heaviness. But I also feel new romance for some of you. It's like somebody saying, I really do want love. Maybe I'm going to make my move. So you and this person, or you and another person, could actually be going somewhere this week. They may make the move, right? So what does Spirit think you should do right now? And I see the 7 of Wands. Seven of Wands for you in this particular position says, stand your ground, stay steady, emotional control, right? I love that word, right? Emotional control and just staying grounded and persistent. It looks like, things could be a little bit difficult at first. It always is when we're moving forward on a new path, right? But this is asking you to stay grounded and to trust that things are moving. And you can see the energy here, a person taking a few steps back and wanting to move in a new direction, because it's worth the challenge with you. So there is going to be challenges, moving forward, but stay grounded is what I'm seeing here. You have somebody that looks as though what's shifting for them is they want to make the right move at the right time with you and pursue this in a more romantic manner. So again, it could be new romance. And this could also be saying, Gemini, let down your guards. So if some of you have a lot of, wait a minute, I don't, this is actually saying you got to open up a little bit and be a little bit vulnerable if you want something to change in your relationship. All right, so let's look at Aries through Pisces. And I'll do a yes or no. So think of the question on your mind, yes or no. And I'll read the card to you also. You're welcome. Thank you. Don't forget, I'll pull 1 to 3 cards for whoever is the top chatter and at the end. So for the top 3 chatters, it helps the video. All right. So Aries. No. All right. So we're expecting the worst when it comes to an Aries. You got to change your expectation. Taurus, yes. Being playful, flirty, and phone calls coming in. Gemini, yes. Look at this. I love when my readings are in such synchronicity, right? It's just unbelievable. You got the King of Pentacles. You had the King of Pentacles here. What's shifting in your life? And we see Taurus energy. So something about the Taurus reading could really be for you, Gemini, as well. All right. So I'm seeing here, you've got abundance coming your way, a yes. And with the Gemini, it's just saying stay grounded. Stay grounded this week. We are seeing a shift when it comes to your love life. For some of you, it could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn coming into your life, or a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, yes. 7 of Pentacles. Just give it a little bit more thought. There's another way around your problem. Leo, yes, all right. They just may be in a place where they're not receptive to your energy right now. Don't let that deter you from the actual outcome. All right. Virgo, Chariot, yes, right? Things are moving forward a lot faster. Libra, no, things are still confusing. They still don't know what they want. Scorpio, yes, making plans to move forward with this. Sagittarius, maybe, all right, things still haven't been clear. They're not being completely honest with their intentions. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Sagittarius. That's not bad. It just means we got to be honest with each other. Capricorn, yes, you could be reconciling or reconnecting or connecting with the Capricorn. Aquarius, I see no. There's a lot of conflicts and challenges. We got to find common ground. Aquarius, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pisces, we have a yes. They'll initiate and take charge this week. It looks like a new start. So many yeses, and then the one that you want is a no. I'm sorry. All right. Cancer. All right, let's see. Cancer. Oh, look at my face. I put it in the thing. That was awful. All right. 29, 29. All right, Cancer. Biggest shift in love right now. Biggest shift in love for Cancer. All right, Cancer. All right, so things turning around for you, right? You might not see it just yet. All right, sometimes we can get caught in our head, feeling like we got to figure it out. We're the only ones, you know, that are trying. We don't feel supported. Feels like, you know, the light's not on the other side. Somebody's keeping you at a distance. You know, well, that's a mindset right now for you. You may not see the opportunity yet that's coming your way. All right, we tend to expect the worst when we have been working on something for so long, or we've been rejected before, or the situation didn't turn out the way we expected the last time. All right, so this looks like this is shifting for you. You may be expecting the worst right now, so keep that in mind. I see the High Priestess. Right, so Taurus had this too, I believe. So maybe Taurus is reading. Again, this happened on Monday too. Remember, Taurus was the ultimate reading for everybody. We have Uranus 29 degrees in Taurus, so keep that in mind, guys, which is why collectively it's probably coming out for you right now. And Venus there as well, right? So we're looking at the High Priestess, right? What's shifting for you is somebody is lurking and observing and keeping their eyes on you and still trying to figure out what you're really up to, what's going on. Maybe somebody else doesn't want the situation to be the way it was before. Maybe they're still struggling with the way something was left or the way something ended, right? Or they see you kind of dealing with something. Maybe one of you are walking away from a situation and still kind of dealing with the aftermath of what's going on. So somebody's staying quiet. That's what's happening, but that doesn't mean they've left your awareness or they've left your situation. They're actually waiting or watching you to see what's really going on with you and how maybe you will respond to them, right? And sometimes people like to lurk just to see if you're doing okay or what you're up to and seeing if you have, you know, you're in a better place than you were before, especially if something has happened between the two of you. So we have Cancer energy right here. And so somebody definitely is being pulled towards you. Now their energy, the Knight of Wands. So you have an Aries, Leo, Sag, their shift. What is shifting is they're moving towards you right now. It looks like they're coming in a little bit more open, more playful, more decisive, right? But also in more of a fun kind of energy, like let's kind of, you know, see where things go. I'm very interested. So it can be a very sexual energy, a very flirty energy, all right? And somebody here really wanting to get together or to talk to you. Now the Knight of Wands can be something that happens surprisingly and happens fast. It can be really, really quick. I am on Cancer, and I can't put the title on the screen, but the timestamps will be up afterwards. All right, so Knight of Wands, though, this is the energy they're coming towards you in. So how does this impact your connection? All right, the Page of Pentacles, right? So this seems to be a new start, but for you, it may feel like, you know, can I trust this? Can I do this again? It's dependent on the kind of situation you're in. So if you've been dealing with this before with somebody, or if this is somebody new, it looks like, you know, this is this new start where you got to take it slow. Your person could come in fast. This is where sometimes, you know, you have to slow down and observe and make sure you know you can trust your person's intentions, right? So if something comes in too fast right now, you know, it can leave just as fast, and we can get caught up in the passion rather than the situation itself. And then before we know it, we don't know what the hell happened, right? So the Page of Pentacles is telling me what's shifting in this connection is a new understanding of the connection, right? So we're starting from a clean slate, but we also have to apply the knowledge that we learned before, right? So let's slow things down a little bit and figure things out and try to work things out. Now, this could bring in somebody, you know, bringing in an apology about something that happened in the past as well. Like maybe things happen too fast. Maybe we need to slow down a little bit. Maybe we need to rethink things so that we don't make the same mistakes we made in the past, right? So slow start for you. It could seem like it's a slow start for you, but for your person, remember, they're showing up as the Knight of Wands. All right, so you may want the Knight of Wands. It may happen fast, and then it could slow down again, and that could make you feel nervous if they pull back. All right, but what should you do? All right, the Queen of Pentacles. Stay grounded even if this pattern happens. If somebody comes in quickly and then slows down, just know that they're pulling back their energy because they're observing you. It looks as though they like to see how you are or what you do when you're on your own, or when you're, you seem to be very stable and grounded, and this person likes this about you, all right? But they do, you know, when you're off on your own or staying by yourself, they do keep an eye on you, keep tabs on you. So stay grounded. If they pull their energy back, they're just trying to get to know you or figure you out. Or maybe they're trying to trust the situation again and see if it's going to turn out differently, right? So it can go either way. But I am seeing an earthy energy or a fire energy coming towards you. And this brings in messages. So if you're waiting on messages, they've been delayed for a little bit, this is somebody coming out to say something to you, all right? So many of you may get that message that you've been waiting for, but stay calm, cool, and collected, right? So let's see, yes through Aries through Pisces, yes, no. So think of your question for each zodiac sign, and I will read the card and say yes or no. All right, Aries through Pisces. Aries, you have a yes. Give it a little bit more time, right? But it does look like, I'm going to say this because it was in reverse. It looks like the timing could be now, all right, for some of you. So, you know, just play it cool. Again, that cool as a cucumber, right? Taurus, I see they're all upside down. Yes, all right, you and Taurus coming together, new plans, right? Maybe just even starting off as friendship. Gemini, yes, Three of Pentacles. Things coming together, you know, just, again, it's talking about you just got to play cool, and, you know, it is coming together for you. Cancer, maybe, the Two of Swords, right? You know, if you're torn between a situation with another Cancer, that's the reason why it says maybe. Maybe means that it's up to you. You know, if you're indecisive about something in this, or you don't trust something about this, that's why your answer is a maybe. Because you have to be 100% certain that this is what you truly want. Leo, yes, coming in quick. There's that Knight of Wands. So I do see a strong fire energy coming towards you pretty quickly. Virgo, yes, Virgo's got you on their mind. You got Cancer energy here. Virgo's all about you, thinking about you, maybe being nostalgic right now. Libra, yes, all right, letting down their guards, right? So they could be coming in. There could be a defensive energy. Maybe, hey, we need to confront something. But Scorpio, I see no. I see things are changing right now, so don't get stuck on the no. It doesn't mean that the outcome can't change. It's just right now it's too uncertain. Sagittarius, I see no. I see there may have been some assumptions, though, that you may need to rethink, because they'll come back around. But right now, it looks like you guys are misunderstanding each other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Capricorn, yes, Knight of Cups. Looks like romantic gameplay coming in with the Capricorn, you know, offering something to you. Aquarius, I see no, but they're sitting in regret and guilt and remorse. Pisces, I see a no, the Tower card. Things are still shaky right now, or you may see some truths coming in. All right. All right, guys, thank you for being here with me. Again, I am using a different software, so I'm a little bit nervous. Hello, Randy, and hello, Norma, and Jeff, what's up? Yes, make sure to see the pinned comment, the top chatters. I will pull the top 3 and pull a card for you at the end. All right, Leo, 139. Wait, 39, 39. All right. Oh, yeah, keep doing that where you see my face. I hate that. Thank God I don't have anything in my nose. All right, Leo. Leo, 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 Leo. Biggest shift for Leo right now. Biggest shift, biggest shift. Biggest shift for Leo in love. Hey, you gotta laugh at yourself. Golden rule, laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself so seriously, right? I'm the first one to tell you I'm a bag of problems, right? So you gotta laugh. If you think something I say is offensive or I've offended you, please trust the fact that I probably have done or said something, or I'm ashamed just more than you. I hope you would, FG. All right, Leo. Leo. Let's do 40. Biggest shift for Leo right now. Oh, now you got my eyeball. All right, I gotta stop doing that. I gotta back up here. All right, you have the 5 of Wands, right? So let's see, that's what's shifting right now. And I see the 7 of Pentacles. So I do see some frustration with my Leos, right? It feels like, come on, if things don't move, I'm gonna give up, or I'm gonna do something that I might regret later, right? Leo's like, if nobody gets it done, I'm gonna get it done, right? But it feels like you might be, or may have been, struggling lately with, no matter what it is you say or do, it seems like you keep running into roadblocks, right? When it comes to your relationships, right? It's like you're always having to, there's always conflict, there's always challenges, somebody's always challenging you. Maybe you're challenging another person, right? But you know, the good news is what's happening is this fight might pay off for you. You've been trying to figure something out. You've been trying to get something to work for you with the situation. And now we're seeing that there's a shift there. You're going to start seeing the goalpost soon, and you'll be able to see, you know, the finish line. Let's see what's shifting with your person. All right, maybe your person's attitude is starting to change. Somebody's actually nostalgic right now, really thinking about you, thinking about the love that you've been trying to give this person, right? And all the times that they were avoiding you, or all the times they were dismissive, or they just didn't have the time, or weren't putting you first, right? Or somebody was acting uninterested, right? You know, this is where you may be, maybe lately you've been getting tired of fighting for something, tired of, you know, fighting their qualms or their battles, or getting sick of trying to make somebody see the bright side of things, or to shift their attitude, right? Well, it looks like your person here, there's a shift happening for them where they actually did recognize the love you were given to them and the attention you were given to them, right? But they may have thought that they could go on and not change, and that you were going to keep giving to it, right? And now there's, you know, you're like, should I keep investing in this or not? That's what's shifting with you. I'm not going to keep investing in, you know, this person that doesn't want to, you know, step up and wants to keep, you know, playing games with me, right? And so this is where we're going to see possibly change this week. Somebody doesn't want to miss the opportunity with you. They don't want to lose what you've been given to them. All right, so what is this doing for the connection? The Fool card. It is changing your attitude. Right now, maybe some of you haven't felt this shift yet. Maybe it's coming in, right? Or you felt it, something coming, something's happening, right? Well, the Fool card is talking about somebody, a pep in somebody's step. It looks like, you know, somebody's realizing that if I don't step up or don't come, if I don't show up for Leo, I'm going to lose Leo. Because there's an energy here of setting yourself free. It's like some of you are ready for something more fun. Some of you are wanting more freedom. Some of you are wanting to move forward and not have to second guess everything. All right. Or you're realizing that you have other options. So what this is telling me is somebody could be trying to come back in, and what you've been fighting for, this person's attention, they may give it to you. They may come back in, and it could be an Aries energy. They may initiate contact. But keep in mind, with this energy here, this person can show up and seem like, oh, this is the best thing ever. This person is finally seeing me. This person is finally waking up, and we have a fresh start. But then as soon as they got your attention again, this is where it can get tough, right? As soon as they get your attention again, all of a sudden they feel comfortable again, and they go back to the same way they were. All right, so you're going to have to test the waters here. Make sure they're being sincere. You know, somebody, if this is an on again, off again situation, just know that it may excite you at first, but, you know, you always have to have discernment. But I do see that somebody does want to pursue you or pursue this connection. What should you do right now? I see the Eight of Cups. So if this is you kind of putting the focus on yourself and moving forward and not playing games anymore, this is showing why you're giving off this energy of, I have other choices. Whatever you're giving me isn't good enough. And if somebody comes back in and if their energy isn't good enough or it seems like false promises, this is where I see the biggest shift for you. You're not going to give a shit. All right, you're gonna be like, I've got my attention. I know it's not me. I know this person is just, this is the way they are, you know, and I'm tired of fighting this, right? So your energy is shifting towards you and what you want. And because you're doing this though, this person here may actually, there is potential here with that Fool card. This person may wake up, but it's not always guaranteed. So the Eight of Cups is also still reminding you that you have to continue making sure that you are fulfilled in this situation and not just taking back somebody who is a temporary, you know, they keep their promise for about a week and then it dies out again. All right, that's what you don't want to fight anymore. So with that being said, if you have Aries through Pisces on your mind, let's take a look at yes or no. Think of your question and I will say yes or no, or read the card that I pull for you. All right, let's see. This is for Leo, Aries through Pisces. All right, Aries. Yes, I'm seeing the Justice card, all right? So learning their lessons, the truth coming in, honesty coming in with an Aries. Number 11, Taurus, the Hierophant, maybe, all right? If you feel like they're being honest with you and you're in alignment, it looks like you could level up with a Taurus. Gemini, no, there's too much confusion still. Somebody doesn't know exactly what they want. You sacrifice yourself in this situation way too much. All right, Cancer. I see yes, and I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles. Cancer had the Page of Pentacles in their reading as well too. So it looks like they're investing. This is a new start with you and a Cancer. Leo, you have the Nine of Wands, which makes sense. You have a yes, right? The Nine of Wands says you've been tried in going through a lot with somebody or love in general, that you have no more room for game playing, all right? So keep that in mind, that you get another go at somebody, but you're making a decision right now whether or not this is gonna work. Virgo, Queen of Cups, right? Yes, the relationship deepening. They're really in their feelings about you. Libra, maybe the Two of Pentacles. It's whether or not you guys can accommodate each other, or there's, you guys kind of have different personalities and you have to learn to work together. So really it's up to the two of you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's up to you actually is what I would say when it comes to a Libra, whether or not you want to deal with the fluctuations and the inconsistency. Scorpio, Judgment, yes, all right. So it looks like you're turning a relationship in a new direction. Sagittarius, I see yes. I see reconciliation. You both have a lot of love for each other. Capricorn, maybe. They're on the fence, all right? So there could be other options. Aquarius, no. I see the Death card. It's like time to move on. Pisces, I see maybe. Things are turning though, right? But we do see lessons with the Wheel of Fortune. All right. All right. I am trying. I'm glad you like my lives. I mean, I still need to do the recordings for the individuals, and I will get back on that. But honestly, my energy's always going up and down over the last couple months that I can only do so much. So right now, I'm feeling pretty good with the all signs, Monday, Wednesday, Friday again, keeping them at a certain pace. And then my individuals will come back up. And remember the membership, we always go a little deeper in the membership. So if you want to dive deeper into, how tarot works and the patterns and behaviors and things like that, I've been confronting that again. So, all right, Virgo, let's see, 49 for Virgo. All right, Virgo is 49, and I do not have the title up because I'm using different software, so I apologize, guys. I think I'm going to get something for up in here that gives me the zodiac sign so you'll know who I'm on. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. What is the biggest shift happening for Virgo right now? All right, Virgo, the end of the tough days. All right, you're reaching the break here of something. All right, so you're so close. You're so close, all right, to a situation resolving itself. Let's see. I see the Chariot card is what's shifting for you. All right. So, hey, where there's a will, there's a way. So some of you were like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like giving up. The Nine of Wands is where we sometimes feel like giving up. And sometimes we give up right when we're about to have a major breakthrough with what we're thinking, saying, doing, what another person is doing. We realize a situation was going the wrong direction for a while because of a certain reason, right? And we were fighting the wrong symptoms. We were fighting or paying attention to the wrong details in a relationship, right? So what's happening now is it seems like there's a refocus. And it seems like we're coming back. We're combating something. We're putting our heads together. We're going to overcome this obstacle because there is something here and we need to figure out why we keep going down the same road that we've been going down. You know, things repeat themselves for a reason so that we can acknowledge what the hell is happening, what the pattern is, because we know our feelings are there, but why is it that our situation is not matching the feelings that we know both of us have? So you have Cancer energy here. Something in Cancer reading may resonate with you. Maybe some of you have strong Cancer placements or you're connected to a Cancer. All right. So let's look at what's shifting with your person. And I'm seeing the Devil card. They're realizing the attachment they have to this situation as well. They were realizing their part in this play. They're realizing the part that, you know, that you both play in this. The Devil card is the Lover's card, but it shows the darker sides of the obsession of love. You know, when desire, when our emotions, when our addictions, when our fears, when our attachments override the actual love that we have for one another. But we both can become attached or get caught up in the pattern because we don't know how to figure out how to stop the looping, right? So that's what's happening with your person is they're realizing that something has to change here because I can't get enough of you, yet we can't stand each other at times, you know, that same dynamic, right? How do we do this? Because we're both reaching some sort of breaking point and we're exhausted, right? So sometimes, like I said, you have to reach a place of exhaustion where you're on the ground literally saying every prayer you can think of so that you can figure out, why can't I let go of something or someone? And then we have the epiphany, we have the breakthrough, right? So how is this affecting your connection? Look at this. All right, so your reading is going quite deep, but I'm going to say that we're in the South Node is still there. So as we're closing up the cycle with Virgo South Node, a lot of us who have been affected, you know, collectively, but with placements in Virgo, we're reaching this point where we've been being tested for the last year. All right, we've been being tested so much that we're reaching some point, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Wands, that you got to face the reality of it, because whatever you're going through right now, you'll never have to go through again. All right. And so that's why some of you may be really facing some deep, deep, deep pressure when it comes to your relationship and your cycles, right? But you can see that spirit's on your side, right? You're headed towards a victory here. But what can happen right now is that both of you and your person could be faced with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of regret, right? And this is not what we're supposed to be doing, shame and blaming, guilting ourselves. We're just supposed to be recognizing what the hell we've been doing so that we can find forgiveness. And that's what's changing in your situation. You both are realizing what you both played in this scenario, what you both did. And in the meantime, you know, it's affecting both of you mentally, that you have to find forgiveness with yourself, not with each other so much first. You find it with yourself, and it brings you guys closer. And it looks like a major forgiveness, major reconciliation happening when it comes to Virgos with their relationships. That doesn't always guarantee a reconciliation, as we're going to be in a relationship for some of you. Think bigger. It could be some of you that have dealt with Virgos in the past, if you're a cross watcher, or if you're dealing with a situation that you know is over, but you're realizing, both of you, how important you were to each other. But right now, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you keep dealing with this pattern, you guys are coming to some sort of place of, we've got to make peace with this and heal from this. So somebody may ask for your forgiveness. What you should do, be open to communication and starting fresh, all right? The Two of Cups is talking about a conversation coming in where maybe we don't bring up the past and guilt and have to talk about or rehash everything, right? Or point fingers. But maybe we can have this forgiveness or this acknowledgement in our heart so that we can have this conversation and move forward in a new direction. It seems like there's a whole new mutual understanding happening here between you and another person, right? Where we're seeing each other on a new level, all right? And so this is a major breakthrough happening when it comes to relationships. But it really comes down to what you're finding forgiveness in yourself for first, because that's when and how two hearts will be able to connect on a different level and level up when they're both realizing, right? And you'll see it happen. It's like, it really is such a beautiful moment when these things happen. So let's see Aries through Pisces. The synchronicities are crazy, Terry. I mean, that's why listening to Aries through Pisces too can also just be a whole different viewpoint when you're reading and coming in and getting readings. Aries through Pisces. Yes or no? So think of your question and I'll give you a yes and no and tell you the card. So Aries, yes, Eight of Pentacles, things coming together. You guys figuring things out. You're both very dedicated to the cause. And we have Taurus, yes, King of Pentacles showing up. So Taurus here, you know, stepping up. They really have a plan. They know what they want. Looking for security, so a more stable relationship. Gemini, yes, clarity, truth coming in, right? Wanting to talk things out. Cancer, yes, Six of Wands. So you guys are getting through some conflict you've had recently. Leo, maybe on the fence. There's still options here. So maybe there's still closure of another relationship happening. Virgo, no, all right? So Virgo, the Death card is showing up in your position, which is saying to me, hear me out, no. No, because you're closing a pattern that you'll never have to deal with again if you're following the process, you know, and this is your story. You're seeing a huge psychological death. Something is completely coming to an end, which means that you have paved the way for something new, a rebirth to happen, especially with you and another Virgo. So your situation with another Virgo goes a hell of a lot deeper than just surface face value here. All right, Libra, yes, Six of Cups, all right? So it looks like you both feel the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Scorpio, yes, Magician. You both are thinking about one another and where things can go. Sagittarius, I see a no. I'm seeing, you know, but things could turn around here. You have communication still coming your way. Capricorn, I see no. I see the Devil card. All right, so this to me is representation of the reading I just did. All right, something is leaving, a pattern is leaving, a pattern is shifting with a Capricorn. So both of you are on the same page. So there's a mirroring effect with you and a Capricorn. Aquarius, I see no. Still kind of stewing over what happened. Still trying to process loss or the abandonment or leaving. All right. Pisces, I see yes. I see wanting to make new plans with you, wanting to start fresh. All right. And hello, Mariah. Hello, Taja. And let's see, we are moving on to Libra. All right, let's get a good shuffle. You're welcome. All right, remember I can't put the title on the screen of who I'm on. I'm gonna have to get a new thing for the zodiac signs. I am on Libra. I will have the timestamps up afterwards though, so you'll be able to find them. Hello, Mariah. Don't forget, whoever chats the most, I pick the top 3 and I'll pull a card for you at the end. All right, Libra, 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 Libra. Yes, mods are awesome. Thank you. All right. Love the hearts. Libra. Libra's energy. Let's see the biggest shift happening for you when it comes to love. All right, the Hanged Man showing up for you, Libra. All right, so this can be, you've been sitting in a place, you know, for a minute here, wondering which direction you're going in. It feels like you just can't get a clear direction. All right, so when you sit in limbo like this, the Hanged Man, you start to look at all your past options, or you start to look at everything, right? And you start to second guess yourself whether or not, you know, you should have done things differently. Should you do this? Should you do that? But this card here is telling you, you did everything you were supposed to do. Things are changing, things are shifting. Sometimes the magic is happening behind the scenes when things are quiet, right? It really has been just a timing thing for you. But you're leaving a certain version of yourself that you showed up as or expected in a relationship, and now you're seeing things differently. So your relationships are going to show up for you differently right now. So let's see what is changing for you. You know, the Queen of Cups, I have a water energy showing up, and to me this is a deep transformation when it comes to what you need emotionally. All right, there is a relationship in your life where somebody has deep feelings, or somebody feels deeply connected, or is starting to understand you on a deeper level. All right, there's very strong magnetic attraction towards you right now, and you may be feeling like, where is it then, right? Because the energy behind the Queen of Cups and the Hanged Man Pisces energy is an energy that seems to be more in the background. It's like, why do they have these feelings? Why is somebody, why am I interested in somebody? Why am I waiting for somebody to show up for me? Because somebody may be also going through their own healing process right now too as well. And they could be connected still to somebody else, and they're still processing what's going on. But what I'm seeing here is an emotional connection forming between you and somebody else. So let's see what is shifting. The Five of Cups, right? So there is a mourning, there's a loss that's happened. There's somebody your person who has been focusing a lot on their past, right? They can't seem to let something go. They feel let down. They feel disappointed. Maybe in the way the situation turned out between the two of you. Maybe in the way that they expected the situation to be, but it wasn't exactly the way they wanted, right? Or they could be dealing with the past situation in their own life that they're still feeling disappointed by, and that's affecting you. All right, and so some of you might say, well, why don't they just tell me? Well, you know, sometimes people don't realize that the choices that they're making in a current relationship are based on, like, I don't want to let this person in because the last time I let somebody in, look what happened to me. Look what I keep getting hurt, right? So you're dealing with somebody who could be a little bit depressive, right? A little bit down and out at times, right? And this Queen of Cups is telling me that they're really processing how they showed up for you, how their feelings are, or what they really want. So yeah, you may be waiting. You may feel like you don't understand the situation, and you may be feeling like they're silent, but the magic is happening behind the scenes. This is where growth happens. When your person comes back around, you're going to feel a whole different shift in their energy, where they seem like they're more emotionally on your same level, or on the same page as you, or they're more in tune with their emotions, and they're more willing to be like, hey, this is how I really feel, but I needed to process process my emotions a little bit longer. I didn't want to react from a place of disappointing you or disappointing myself. So they could be missing you right now, but just not sure if it's the right time to reach out to you. So what is this doing to your connection? I see the Three of Cups. So what you don't really see, Libra, is that by leaving this situation alone for a little bit and letting somebody process their emotions in their own way and not taking it personal is going to bring your connection a lot closer, because you're seeing the Three of Cups, you're seeing having a good time, you're seeing socializing, you're seeing your person a little bit differently, you're feeling like something has shifted, something has changed. There's a lot of love that's growing here in this connection, but before we couldn't connect because your person and you were either dealing with something that had thrown you guys off from the past, or neither of you could let go of something. But now we're seeing the shift is bringing you guys closer together. So and this could be a date, this could be reconnecting, this could be saying, hey, let's start off as friends again. I want to talk to you. Maybe I want to date you. If this is somebody new and you feel like they keep pushing you away, it's like maybe they weren't ready. Maybe neither of you were ready, all right? So it can show up in many ways for you. So what Spirit wants you to do is the Magician card right now. It's where you're putting your focus. You have the Hanged Man. Are you viewing your person based off of, what happened before? Do you need to open up your mind a little bit more and see it differently? Because the version of a relationship coming towards you, or the person coming towards you, is going to change depending on how you view your person. Now, the focus here, things can work out if whatever you expect, right? But I'm seeing you and another person mutually attracted to one another, but allowing it in. The only problem I'm seeing here is your person has a tendency to let their emotions or their fear of disappointment or their past block them from getting closer to you right now. But you're seeing somebody going through some healing. All right. So let's look at yes or no for you when it comes to Aries through Pisces. Hello, Anne. What's up? Another Libra in the house. You have Gemini really showing up for you in Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra. For those of you who are single, these three cards right here can say that leave the past alone also as well, because you may be reflecting that towards a new person coming into your life, and you may feel like you're just going to be disappointed again. But I am seeing here potentially you meeting somebody here too as well, because this can say you're very attractive right now, and depending on what you're focusing on too, that does change your frequency. And that's an awesome card to get for my singles. With the Magician, it says, you have what it takes here to manifest in what it is you're looking for. So think of Aries through Pisces, and I will do, yes, I'm on Libra. I can't put the title on the screen yet. Aries. Yes, with an Aries. You have Aries wanting your attention, all right? You both like what you see. Taurus, I see yes. You have the Queen of Cups with the Taurus energy. So if you're dealing with a Taurus, Libra, it's showing me here that you have a Taurus that's trying to process their emotions right now, and things could shift between the two of you moving forward. Just giving it a little bit more time for your Taurus to process their emotions. Gemini, I see a yes with a Gemini. They got their eyes on you. All right, and I see Cancer, Four Swords. I see a no right now. Give it a little bit more time. Leo, I see yes, coming in quickly. All right, a lot of passion here. Virgo, I see a no right now because things are changing too much. It's too uncertain. And Libra, I see yes. Look at Libra. You have Justice card. All right. So this is you being in your knowing, all right? Stand by your truth, stay true to your integrity, all right? Being honest with yourself, this is a closure of a soul contract and a new new opening, new relationship, new start, right? Reconciling with another Libra especially. All right, so I do see that you maybe have been or connected to something that is karmic, but that karmic cycle is coming to a close. Scorpio, I see yes, right? A little bit more time though, right? There's just this planning to reach out here. Sagittarius, I see yes, things working itself out. You guys have a lot in common. Capricorn, I see yes. I see you and Capricorn share the same goals of a long-term relationship, marriage maybe. Aquarius, I see no. I see you guys may be making the wrong assumptions though. You guys could be triggering each other through communication. Pisces, I see yes. You and Pisces finding a way home towards one another. All right. All right, guys, don't forget the top chatter. I picked the top 3 at the end, and I'll pull a card for you. So if you're new to my channel, come on in and chat. Engage. Tell me your sign, where you're from, who you're cross-watching, and I will have the timestamps up afterwards. I don't have a way to let you know what sign I am on, but you can ask the chat, and they will let you know. I am on Scorpio right now. So keep my head out of the screen here. Scorpio 1-11-11. Oh, Scorpio's got the good one. Let me get a good... hello, Learning. What's up? Always a pleasure. Norma Bay. Scorpio. All right, so Scorpios, how have your week been going, all right? You know, I've been getting a couple of really good readings for you, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, what is this? What is this energy that we are in? Scorpios always get it. Just this last couple readings, Scorpio's been getting the really, really good one. And so I want something beautiful to manifest for us Scorpios or people with Scorpio placements, Scorpio rising especially. You know, what is happening? What is happening? Sonia. All right, the biggest change happening, the biggest shift right now, and what is changing? Ooh. Oh, you know what, guys? This is just a little bit to maybe this will make you believe me. I don't know. But I pulled this for myself this morning. All right. So I am a Scorpio 5 major planets. All right. Big, huge stellium. And my progressed ascendant is a Scorpio right now, right? So maybe this will be what I've been saying for the last couple readings. You know, maybe this is validation that, you know, we got some fun coming in, lighthearted energy, some flirting, all right? Things actually, maybe it's a time to finally enjoy some time, right? Something playful. Could be a fire sign coming your way. I see the temperance underneath that. So I feel like whatever you're doing right now, trust that you're on the right path, okay? The temperance card says, you know, some things do just take time, right? And so you've got to enjoy the journey, but it looks like something fun is supposed to be, or something good is supposed to be shifting this week. And the last time I did this last week in April, it said in April. So, you know, maybe we're still on April 8th. So the biggest shift for you is the 9 of Cups. You're getting your blessing, all right? Being seen. Feeling very satisfied and, you know, honored and grateful with the outcome. All right. So you have the 9 of Cups. It was the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. All right. So this is my Scorpios looking really good. You know, this can be a blessing, a gift. The Page of Wands also, you know, sometimes we give it this, you know, like the Knight of Wands, like, oh, it's just lust, it's just playful. But no, the fire energy, Page of Wands, is very much spiritual. It's very intense and instinctual, right? It's very creative and very fun, which says that something is about to come in that is going to bring some sort of excitement into your life when it comes to love. But what we choose to do with that afterwards, you know, it's on us, right? But I do see what's shifting is something that's going to make you very happy. Now with your person, the Star card, somebody's got you on their mind, right? Maybe you've gone through something with your person, some challenges. instability. You can look at it like in love, you were dealing with somebody that you had an argument with, or somebody that you had a breakup with, or somebody is going through a huge life change. Remember, the Tower comes before the Star. So it always tells me that somebody needed some time to really heal or really get through a situation so that they could see the light. And you seem to be the light in somebody's dream, right? Somebody has not lost faith in this connection with you. Now we have Aquarius energy here. And it is the Star. So somebody's desiring you right now. Somebody's actually, this combination tells me somebody could be manifesting you in, right? Or somebody's manifesting for you. Somebody's manifesting, what they want from this connection. They desire you. They desire an outcome that is going to benefit both of you. So how is this affecting the connection? You have the Six of Cups. You will be in the arms of somebody that you feel is your soulmate, or a mutual love relationship. If some of you don't like the soulmate words anymore or anything like that, that's understandable. We can have many. It does say that you and another person are really in alignment when it comes to, we really desire a happy ending. We really are thinking about the past, or we're making plans about the future. If this is somebody new, somebody is in their head going, man, I can see us together. All right, so very strong, really good vibe for you. I can't make up the cards, guys. So really, Scorpio, I hope all of us, or the majority, or someone, at least someone, is having something amazing happen right now or in April for you. All right, now what should you do? The Seven of Pentacles is showing up, and this has been showing up for a couple different signs. I can see that you've been stagnant for a while, and maybe some of you may be trying to change your plans. With the Temperance card and the Seven of Pentacles, Spirit's really kind of saying to you right now, don't change your plans out of fear. So if you've been doing something or manifesting something, sometimes when we're not getting what we want, we think we have to change something about our actions or our behaviors. And that's why it can get confusing. Like, say some of you really know, I've been really, Frankie, showing up for this. I know everything should be in alignment. Then don't change your belief, because some things do just take time. And sometimes with the Seven of Pentacles, you can tend to want to try another way. Maybe if I think another way, maybe if I try texting again, maybe if I do this, maybe if I change my hair color, whatever it is, Spirit's saying don't change anything right now. Your plan is working out for you. It's just has been taking a little bit of time, and it looks like you're about to see the manifestations come in for you. All right, so I love this, and I'm stamping this with Frankie's approval, because I want to see this goodness come in for all of you when it comes to your love situation. So let's look. We have Aquarius, we had Sagittarius showing up for you. We have a blessing coming in for you. Now, I'm going to do yes or no for the question on your mind for Aries through Pisces. Do not let this portion take away from this message, okay? So ask a question that won't maybe confuse you. All right, Aries through Pisces. Believe me, everything seems like it's taken its sweet-ass time. And I've had to come to terms with the fact that information comes so quickly for us now that we want everything when we want it. We want everything now, right? So we're not used to waiting for anything anymore. All right, Aries through Pisces. Aries, you have a maybe right now for Aries. They're still on the fence here, right? Thinking about reaching out. If there's something else going on, that could be the reason, the only reason. Taurus, I'm seeing a no with a Taurus, right? I see the Page of Swords, right? So it could be a communication issue, but you will there's possibility you'll receive communication with the Taurus. Gemini, no for the question on your mind. I'm getting Four Swords. Give it a little time, all right? It might just take a few more days, more clarity. Cancer, I'm seeing maybe. I'm seeing moving forward or trying to move forward. So things will clear up, but I do have a maybe right now. So it tells me it's ultimately up to whatever it is you choose. Leo, I see yes. They got their eye on you, right? They're always got their eye on you. Virgo, I see yes, they want your attention. You got a Virgo coming back in to say hello. And we have Libra, maybe Wheel of Fortune. It's always up to whatever you choose to do. All right, so it's your free will for you with a Libra. Scorpio, I see no. I see the Tower card. Things are still changing with this. Oh, that's funny because I was talking about the Tower with the Star card. So you're getting the Tower here with the Scorpio energy as well, which is a synchronicity. All right, so if you are going through a Tower right now, remember watching or going through a breakup or watching somebody else go through a breakup, or when things are kind of shaky, it's hard to see the light, the star, that things are actually breaking down for you on purpose so that your life can expand, so your relationship can expand, right? So for Scorpio, right now, somebody could be having a huge revelation, or you're having a revelation, and that's why things seem like they've been on hold for a while. But you also may have been trying to avoid the change that's been necessary for your relationship to evolve. Sagittarius, I'm seeing hell yes with a Sagittarius. You have the Empress card, all right? They're all about you. Capricorn, I see no. I see maybe walking away right now temporarily to figure out what we really need or want. Aquarius, but remember the Nine of Cups is up here, so it could be a temporary block that you're dealing with. Aquarius, yes, Ace of Wands, they want this, all right? You got messages coming in. And Pisces, I see yes, all right? Confronting the truth with a Pisces, all right? They don't want things to end. All right, Scorpio, another great reading for Scorpio. Maybe my prayers and my guidance and my guides, my guardian angel is helping us out here. All right, let's see. So Sagittarius, all right, let's get a good shuffle for Sagittarius. You know, maybe I should do this so I stop poking my nose in. Right, all right. Let's see. Sagittarius. Yes, listen to Scorpio Nas. That was a good one. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Sagittarius. I don't have your title on the screen because I need to get a new way to do it. All right. My software is not letting me do it today. So let's see your biggest shift in love. Biggest shift in love for Sagittarius. All right. King of Pentacles showing up for my Sagittariuses, all right? So what is shifting? Things are becoming more stable overall, right? So yes, you know, this guy takes his time, right? But when the timing is right, things are solid. All right, so for my Sagittarians, if you're looking for more stability, right, it looks like you could have a person coming into your life, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. It doesn't always have to mean it has to be this sign, but it does show that somebody could be coming into your life that is looking for stability. All right, the biggest shift is we're looking for real love, romance, all right, and stability. I like this. So I know you guys always get kind of spicy, but maybe something is shifting from spicy to more solid for you. All right, somebody's got their eyes on you. You know, this card here in this deck screams to me Scorpio energy because everybody always talks about our intense, crazy eyes, right? And so this is what I see in this person right here. I just see their intent. They are drawn in by you. There's something about you that they can't get enough of, right? But they want to play their moves right with you because, I don't know, maybe they like the challenge with you. Maybe they like the, you know, maybe you both like it, right? You like the kind of spiciness, the challenge, but, you know, maybe we play our cards right. Your person's thinking, maybe I should step up. Maybe I should, you know, ask for a date. Maybe I should tell you that I love you or I'm in love with you. Maybe I should tell you what my real plans are for this relationship. All right. Yes, crazy eyes, right? And so I'm seeing here that, you know, somebody here wants to play a different move with you. So let's see what's shifting with your person. The Knight of Wands, there it is. All right. So some of you, I just feel like Sag, you may be dealing with somebody that is very attracted to the chemistry. You guys have a lot in common. You guys seem to roll with it. You know, you can't get enough of each other, but it looks like somebody's catching feelings. And I don't think it's you this time. Right? It's not just you this time. It's somebody else is feeling the magnetic pull and the intoxication of your passion. All right? So let me, you know, there's nobody like a Sagittarius, I guess, right? When you, especially if you have Sag Venus, right? But you know you can get it. You'll go get it somewhere else, right? So if somebody else knows that they're not always going to get that, they may decide to ground in on it and try to make things more serious with you. So it looks like an Aries, Leo, Sag energy. You have all elements showing up for you. So this could be any sign right now. So how is this affecting your connection? Look at this, loyalty. It looks like somebody wants to level up in a connection with you. All right. It's not just about passion anymore. It may be unconventional. Maybe you guys have a different kind of relationship than the norm, you know, and it's just been this way for so long. But it looks like somebody's coming to some realization that my feelings are like, your person may be trying to feel like they want to keep it just sexual. I'm trying to act like I don't have feelings for you, but sorry, after a while, you know, we catch feelings, and your person is starting to value this in a different way. All right, so let's see what you should do with all this, because you could be leveling up in a relationship. All right, the Five of Cups, what you should do: quit worrying about what happened yesterday. If you're still focused on the disappointment, if you're still focusing on things not turning out in your favor, if somebody's been letting you down, all right, it looks like something is completely shifting in your life and you're about to get more stability. But it does say you've got to pick yourself back up and look at this differently, all right? Letting go of how you expect things to turn out. That's something, and this is what I was trying to talk about yesterday in membership, if you guys were there, whereas like sometimes we just expect because a situation has already shown up before and we're like, I doubt it, right? It's disappointed me. I think I'm going to get disappointed again. So it's really you shutting down before a situation has a chance to open up. And that's what I'm feeling like here. So my advice to you, and I'll pull one more card here, the Ace of Wands, given something potential to grow, but you have to give a person potential to show up for you. Let them prove themselves to you, which means you maybe need to back up a little bit and say, all right, if this is really what's happening with this person and they're serious, I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm going to let them prove to me. I'm not going to tell them they need to tell me something. I'm going to let their actions show me. So you need to let this person take the actual actions, and you don't have to force anything, all right? That's what I'm getting for you. So let's see. Aries through Pisces. Now, don't let this part confuse you. Just think of your question, and it's for the current energy. It doesn't change the outcome of your situation. All right. And so I'm going to go yes through no, yes or no, or maybe through Aries through Pisces. And this is the current energy. So ask your question in your head, but I'll also call out the card. All right, Aries. You have a yes, all right? But be careful of confrontation, all right? We gotta let down our guards, not be defensive, and, you know, be willing to face, you know, some conflict, but with determination. So you have an Aries coming in, yes. Taurus, I see yes, right? Wanting to make plans with you. It seems like you're making progress with a Taurus. Gemini, I see yes. You have emotional conversation coming in. All right, there you have a crush on you. Happy news, Gemini. Cancer, I see yes, very attracted to you. You both want the same thing. You can make this work. Leo, I see maybe. You have the Wheel of Fortune, which says it depends on you or the way you react to the situation. You have more control over this than you realize. So things are changing between you and a Leo. Virgo, I'm seeing leave the past in the past, a difficult situation ending. But I see no. I see a no for your question, but I'm also seeing a chance for something to really have a fresh start. Libra, yes, they got their eyes on you, keeping tabs. Scorpio, I see yes, they're returning. They want your attention. Sagittarius, you've got yes, you have the Empress card. So go back to what I was saying up here. There, you don't have to do anything except let somebody prove to you this week, right? Because that's the biggest shift. And we have Venus in Taurus right now. And we have Uranus, 29 degrees Taurus. So go back to Taurus's reading, and I think that you'll really be able to connect the dots. And you have Taurus showing up right here. So it really does feel like you just got to lean back and let it happen, all right? Something really growing between you and another Sag as well. Capricorn, I see Hierophant here. All right, maybe also says that if it's truly in alignment and you really want this, the only thing stopping this is if you think this isn't good enough for you, right? Aquarius, yes, things moving slowly with an Aquarius, but they're definitely moving with an Aquarius. Pisces, I see yes, and I see Ace of Wands. So synchronicity here with a Pisces, it's saying it has pure potential. So let them show up, let them prove it to you. All right, Sag, another awesome reading for Sagittarius. The last two timestamps, Libra was 59:59, Scorpio was 111:11, and Sag was 121:21. All right, Capricorn, 2:30:30, 1:30:30. All right, Capricorn, 1:30:30. Hello, Joy. Remember the top chatters. I'm going to pick 3 of the top chatters, and I'll pull a card to give you clarity at the end. All right, so make sure you're chatting away, you know, sending reactions. Whoever's my top fan, I'll pick the top 3. All right, Cappy. Biggest shift for Cappy. All right. Biggest shift for Cappy right now. Let's get something good for my Capricorns. All right. Capricorn. You have the Lover's card. I love this for you. All right. So love is taken over. Love always takes over. All right. And we have a Gemini energy here. We have passion. We have deep sexual connection. We have, you know, no matter what, it seems like love always takes over, our desire. Now, the difference here, and I'll pull the biggest shift in a second, is that maybe this time we're starting to see things a little bit differently, right? We're not just letting our impulses and our desire take control, right? But we're realizing that something keeps us together, something brings us together. There's something there, right? But we're just not, we're missing a piece. We're missing the logic behind it. So this is where things are going to shift, right? Because something keeps bringing you and a person, or something is bringing you and another person together, all right? So the biggest shift is the Strength card. Self-control, confidence, love, and somebody's heart opening up. So we're seeing a relationship that is growing, actually. All right. Now the Lover's card, sometimes the most difficult people that we encounter in our life, including me, for you guys, when you get mad at me, the most difficult people can be the ones that challenge us the most, so that we can awaken to something that's deeper going on inside of us that is sabotaging our relationships, because often we have wounds that we don't even know we have, or we have assumptions about ourselves we don't know we have, that keep coming up and sabotaging our relationships, right? And so people who challenge us are actually the most important people in our lives, right? You guys challenge me all the time, and I grow from it, right? And so this relationship with the Lover's card and the Capricorn card, I want you guys to understand, when we say in manifestation, don't pay attention to the current reality. Pay attention to, you know, the pattern and what's really happening, because as you shift how you view the situation, everything that's happening in the dynamic is going to be totally different. What's happening, that you're seeing is a reaction to what you both are believing, right? So you can change that. Now, when it comes to lovers, we trigger each other, but something keeps bringing us back. So in order to break the cycle and to deepen our connection with the person that we truly desire, we have to have the strength and discipline to control the reactions that we have during the most difficult moments that we are having with the person we're interested in. So if somebody's pissing you off again, or you see a pattern happening again, you've got to break it so that you can build trust again with each other. That is what's shifting here for you and another person. So you may see this week that your relationship is actually growing stronger, even if it doesn't look the same as it did before, even if somebody's away from you. Mentally, internally, you both are growing from this. A lot of healing energy here. So let's see what's happening with your person. The Seven of Swords. Realizing where they've been in denial. Realizing where they haven't been transparent with you. Realizing where they haven't been honest with you. This is somebody who's realizing that they can't hide anymore from their own truth. And they also can't lie to you any longer. They're maybe seeing their part in it, where they have been avoiding truth, where both of you have been hiding behind a mask. Because that can happen too in lovers' situation, is we try to perform who we think our partner wants us to be, and your partner may be doing the same thing to you, or you have been doing the same thing to protect your relationship. I'm going to perform, and so I can act a certain way, so I can make sure that my person shows up for me. And then what that does is that creates the illusion between the two of you, and it becomes inauthentic. And now both of you are realizing we need to be 100% honest with each other. And you're realizing I can't keep performing just to keep a relationship going, even if there's love. You know, we want this to change. So how is this changing? You could get some sort of confession, or your person, you know, wanting to be honest with you, straight, true transparency with you. All right, it looks like you're seeing here what's shifting is going to make you realize not to underestimate yourself in a relationship, right? So what's happening is a shift in your relationship this week where you're going to feel a lot more confident about who you are and where you stand. And no longer needing to perform for this person. You guys have a very strong magnetic pull towards one another. This is somebody that can't deny that they're attracted to you. They can't deny that they want you. They can't deny that you have a presence about you. But also it's about, let's get raw, let's get real, and let's get down to really what's happening here so that we can deepen our connection. So what does Spirit think you should do? The Five of Pentacles. Forget what you expect to happen. Forget what you think or what you think you know. Or, you know, if you're feeling unsupported or you feel like somebody doesn't understand you. That is not what's happening here. It looks like you're walking closer to the truth, clarity about a situation. You and another person feel a strong pull towards one another, and this is going to make this connection stronger, even though at times it may seem like it's getting further away from you. So I am seeing your person realize that they need to be more authentic with you. And what I'm seeing for you is you need to stop performing for them and being more real with them. Let's move to Aries through Pisces. I tend to want to go deep into these readings, and Wednesdays are supposed to be a little bit less deeper than Mondays. So let's see yes or no for you in Aries through Pisces. A lot of fire energy coming up, and somebody being honest about how they truly feel about you. Aries through Pisces. All right, let's see. Aries. So think of your question. Don't let this confuse the reading, right? Aries, I have a yes. You have a Queen of Wands. So I do see for some of you, there's a very strong fire sign coming your way this week, or somebody very passionate coming towards you. All right. Now, a yes with Aries. Taurus, I see a maybe. Now, the Hierophant is showing up for Taurus, which means if it's not truly what you want, then it's a maybe because you're the one that doesn't feel like they're really what you want. It's something to do with you. It's something to do about your alignment with them. Like your higher self is saying, you could take it or leave it. Gemini, maybe the same thing, Fool card. It feels like it's up to you. You can take it or leave it. You know, we could do this again, but if you really are just doing it because you're just bored, you know, that's the difference. I'm seeing Cancer. I'm seeing yes. I'm seeing Ten of Cups. You both want the same thing. Leo, yes. Give it time, though. With patience. Knight of Pentacles. It's moving, though. Virgo, Ace of Cups. I'm seeing a love offer come in. Virgo. Libra, I'm seeing no. I'm seeing Tower moment. All right, right now it's about epiphanies and things breaking down so you can see the truth. It says no because we need to see things clearly. If you have had a recent argument or disagreement or somebody's going through a divorce or a breakup, you got to let that shit fall before you try to build something, because you won't build a relationship on stability if we don't get through the Tower first. Scorpio, I see yes. I see lots of potential with a Scorpio. Sagittarius, I see no. I see things are still sort of uncertain, but don't give up, right? There's still potential here with the Seven of Cups. Wait a minute. Libra, Scorpio, Sag. Capricorn, I see a yes, a no, but I see a Page of Swords, which tells me it may not be what you think, all right? Aquarius, I see yes, coming in fast, passionate. Pisces, I see yes, stay grounded, all right? Looks like you're making plans for the future with a Pisces. I'm glad you're enjoying today's readings. Remember, this is the new setup for all signs moving forward on my channel. The first Monday is going to be what to expect in love. You know, your person, get into, you know, any kind of shifts or feelings that are happening for the whole week. Sunday, I do the 7-day card spread. So you get a day-by-day breakdown. Wednesday, like today, I'm checking in on if anything has shifted. What's shifting? And then on Fridays, I do the quick card pull for, you know, sort of an urgent warning about the weekend energy and what to expect, right? All right. Aquarius. 141.41. No, I just did Capricorn. We're on Aquarius now, and 141.41. I will have to get signs so you guys know. Ooh. All right, Aquarius. The biggest shift for Aquarius. Well, we all have Pluto in Aquarius right now. That's kind of a, you know, could affect us in some ways. Let's see. Let's see. Aquarius, Queen of Cups. Got a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy at the bottom of the deck. Process and emotions. You know, it's the biggest shift happening in love right now, the Judgment. So what you're seeing is somebody kind of reflecting, you know, reviewing their past, reviewing what was said, reviewing the choices they've made, right? Somebody wants something new. Somebody wants something different in their life, you know? And the Queen of Cups is somebody that is sitting with their feelings and trying to figure out what's best for me, you know? And this can be you too, you know? Like you're just trying to figure out what's best for you, right? And, you know, so we go through these phases where sometimes things didn't work out, but it doesn't mean that that's permanent. There's so many timelines we can choose. It's a matter of our perspective and our perception of our situations. So when the Judgment card gets pulled like this, right, it's talking about, really looking at how we feel and going deeper with the Queen of Cups, really processing what just happened and taking accountability or finding forgiveness with our past. This could be what's happening between you and your person, but it feels like we want a new direction, and you are moving in a new direction, but it's what truth you choose. It's what's going to determine the shift that happens in your relationships or your love situation as well. So what's shifting with your person? You have the Lovers card. So this is a mirror effect. Oh boy. Guys, I'm not trying to sell the membership, but I did a long talk yesterday on the law of assumption and a little bit on the mirroring effect, and I'm getting back into it over there so you guys can see what we're talking about. So you can see how just when I say somebody's mirroring you, it doesn't mean that they automatically want the same thing that you want, or you both are feeling exactly the same way. It means that what you're believing or thinking is how they're reacting to you. And with a different shift in perspective, you both have feelings for each other. Something could have worked here. Something could have happened here, right? Your person realizing that they have deep feelings for you, maybe realizing what they said, what their part was in it, realizing that maybe they judged the situation or judged you. All right, or made the wrong choice, or maybe you're realizing it. It's a mirror effect, right? So we got to look at the part we played in a situation, especially if we feel a strong pull towards somebody and they keep showing back up in our life, or they're still in our energy. We have to realize it's like you've got to be a student and figure this out. Not just leave it up for the ethers to figure it out all the time, right? It's like, what the hell happened here? Especially when you see a divine union or somebody that was meant to show up in your life, because you guys are challenging each other to evolve. Because something about this connection says one of you wasn't ready to receive. Somebody got triggered. But we don't know exactly, because sometimes the one who thinks it's the other, it's you, or vice versa. But the only thing you have control over is your own stories. So you got to double check there first, right? And this is why there could be forgiveness or reconciliation coming into play here, but it takes the work when you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card says you've got to look at facts and truths. It's not about feelings. It's about the truth, logic, stepping up above if we want to see change. So how is this affecting your relationship? Look at this, doorways opening up. You've got somebody that's still sitting there going, why do I see where things could go? Why do I see possibilities? Why am I fantasizing about this person? What's happening here? Because there's avenues that you both know you could have taken and things could have gone differently. Now, maybe in the past you felt like you were just an option, or somebody had other options, and you expected that. So understanding expectations of a relationship could be why that was, we were misjudging. Somebody was making me feel uncertain. But if you were uncertain about yourself, that is why your person is mirroring back to you why you're just an option. It takes a lot of diving into what the hell I'm really talking about here. But your person here, your connection, what Spirit is saying, the Seven of Cups, man, there's so many ways we could play this out in this relationship, and we could make this work, but we've got to take a look at where we're judging wrong or judging ourselves, being our own inner critic. These things really do sabotage at times a relationship. And with the Judgment card, we tend to blame ourselves at the wrong time, or we tend to blame another person at the wrong time. It's not about blaming, though. It's about looking at the circumstance, the pattern. Take a step back, right? Because your person wants to still see or still thinks about you, where things could go, where things could have went. You don't just leave a lover's mind. You don't just leave somebody. If you had a strong connection or you had an experience, don't doubt that you're not going to cross somebody's mind at some time. The thing I want to make apparent, important, is that when you come to tarot readings and you ask about how somebody feels about you, you're affirming that one of your biggest fears is you don't think they're thinking about you. You don't think they really care about you. On some level, that question, how are they truly feeling, means that you have some uncertainty or doubt or fear around how they feel. But that is your dominant expectation when you're in a relationship. If you already expect that somebody or know somebody or you were important to somebody or you just know that you changed them or that they really did feel you, don't talk yourself out of that, because that's the dominant belief. That'll become the dominant belief, and then you'll see that your person actually does believe that, and they'll mirror that back to you. So what you should do, Two of Swords, make a decision. What are your expectations? Don't second guess yourself, all right? Stay focused on clarity when it comes to your relationships. You have a huge shift coming in. You may have somebody coming back in for reconciliation, all right? But this is going to be a big moment that you could shift the pattern of the relationship, all right? We're still seeing a little bit of confusion that you're dealing with. But the only way through confusion is to pick something and go with it. Pick a thought and go with it. Don't waver into fear zone. All right, let's see Aries through Pisces. So think of your question. Catch you on Friday. Thank you. Remember, guys, if you're the top chatter, make sure you're still here at the end so that I can pull a card for you. Let's see Aries through Pisces. Awesome. Make sure to also come back if you can and comment under the video or hype it to help it out. That'd be really awesome. Aries through Pisces, think of your question. Aries, I see they're coming back around, right? But I do see no. Something has to change with an Aries. All right, you could be repeating a pattern. Taurus, I see no. I see there's conflict between you and a Taurus right now. All right, there's another way to solve this. Maybe you guys are confronting it the wrong way. But it's a temporary no, or maybe you wanted to hear no about your question. Gemini, I see yes. I see clarity coming in, communication. Cancer, I see maybe, the Fool card. It depends on how you approach this or if you really want this, all right? But I do see a fresh start. Leo, I see yes. I see hot and heavy. Virgo, I see a maybe. It depends on if you want it. Because honestly, if it's out of your league or you don't want it anymore and it comes back in, the same shit's going to happen. Libra, I see yes. I see the Emperor card. So I see stepping up and moving forward, playing their cards, playing their next hand. Scorpio, I see yes. Right? I see them processing and thinking about you. Sagittarius, I see maybe. It looks like they need to be honest with you about something, though. So make sure they're being transparent. Capricorn, I see yes. I see King of Swords. So they want to bring the truth in. They definitely see clear about what they want now. They're not confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Aquarius, I see yes. I see they've had time to think. They want to make plans, reaching out to you. And Pisces, I see yes. I see judgment. So Pisces, judgment card could be somebody that's definitely has been reviewing and thinking about what has gone down between the two of you. All right, we made it to Pisces. I'm glad they resonated. Thank you. All right, let's see Pisces. Pisces at 150. You know, these are often always the same numbers. I'm like clockwork. All right, let's see. Big C smile. I am glad. That is awesome. All right. I'm just getting a good shuffle for Pisces to close this out. I love to golf. I haven't golfed in a long time. I'm not very good at it. My sons can golf. My sons go golfing. When they're together, they go golfing all the time. They love it. Have a great time. All right, Pisces. Let's wrap this up with what's the biggest shift this week. Plus, I'll do yes or no for Aries through Pisces for you. All right, Queen of Pentacles. So things getting more stable, all right, in a relationship. You could have an earth sign around you or coming towards you. So the biggest shift, Two of Pentacles, things starting to move for you. Things starting to make sense for you, all right? It looks like we finally have a game plan. We're finally getting along. We're finally moving forward. We're finally connecting. We're finally making plans and sticking to them. All right, we've got movement. Can we get a hell yes, right? And so this is progress for you, right? Maybe you've seen the opportunity. You've been waiting for the next step. You've been waiting for somebody to reach out. You've been waiting for somebody to be a little bit more consistent. I am seeing that there's more consistency coming your way. What's changing with your person? I see the Justice card, Libra energy. Somebody realizing that they want more peace in their life too. They want more consistency as well. Maybe they're realizing where they've been not given to the relationship, or they haven't been putting enough effort into the relationship, or they're starting to realize, you know, the truth about the relationship, and they want something more honest between the two of you, right? So somebody really wanting to strengthen the connection, wanting to figure something out, wanting to get together and be real. Let's have a discussion, right? It's a start, right? At least we're getting some sort of confirmation. Maybe there's an apology, maybe there's a reconciliation. Who knows what it is? But it says, all right, this is a start. So now we know, we've got clarity, we've got closure, we're making peace with the past situation, or now we at least know what's going on in this relationship, and we're making plans to move forward. So how is this changing the connection with you? The Tower card. I don't think you're going to see this coming. I don't think you're going to expect this, right? It's going to really shake you up a little bit, right? You thought something was one way. You're getting the truth about something, and you're realizing, wow, I didn't see this coming. Now, sometimes the truth can be, hard to hear. Sometimes the truth can be the most amazing feeling. Like, now you can let go of all the things that you thought were true. You can let go of all your fears. You're finally being able to build something with honesty. All right, so this is what's shifting in your relationship. We're finally getting somewhere. So what does Spirit think you should do? And I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles, all right? So the Seven of Pentacles is talking about maybe you've been in a place of, wondering if you should invest in something. But now I'm seeing, yes, it looks like there's a turning point, but we're taking a new direction. You may have been, ready to go down a different road, or maybe give up, or maybe, you're still feeling like something has to be a certain way, and it's not working for you. Well, I see what's shifting with your person is they're coming forth with what they truly want and what they truly desire. And this is going to move your relationship forward, maybe not in a way you expected, right? So let's get one more clarity. The Star card. That is beautiful. That tells me that what you've been thinking to be true is about to come crashing down. You're going to see that your truth or your stories about a situation may have been what's causing some sort of uncertainty or chaos in a relationship. Maybe the inconsistency. So somebody may have pulled away because and you thought it was one way, but it wasn't. But now you're seeing here that things are coming together so good for you in this connection in a new direction, but we're seeing where the misunderstanding was. So you may have had a breakup with somebody, you may have had an argument with somebody, right? But you need this. This Tower moment needs to happen. We're seeing the Justice, the Tower, the Star card. We're seeing some major karmic cycle happen in here. Some major revelation. Some major truths being shown to you that is moving you towards this happy ending here. This clear path where we finally know. And now this is a learning experience. So for many of you, you may have this huge epiphany like, wow, like I really thought things were going in a, or we're going to go in a different direction, but they actually turned out better than I planned. So that's what I got for you, Pisces. Let's see Aries through Pisces. Think of the question on your mind for each zodiac sign. Do not let it confuse you with the reading I just did. I see Libra, I see Aries, Scorpio, and Aquarius for you. Some of you may have those strong placements or the person on your mind. All right, let's take a look here. Aries. You have a no for an Aries. Give it a couple days, right? They're still kind of figuring out something, figuring out their thoughts. Taurus, I see a yes, right? A breaking point with a Taurus. Gemini, I see yes, all right? Very good, successful energy around you and Gemini. Cancer, I see yes, a reconciliation or just a turning over a new leaf. Six of Cups. Leo, I see yes, Six of Pentacles, all right? So we're shaking hands. Whatever's going on with you and a Leo, we're shaking hands and we're coming up with a new deal. Virgo, I see yes, I see the Chariot card. So we're moving forward gracefully. We're finally overcoming this and we got our ducks in a row. Libra, I see yes, I see things coming together with that Eight of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is saying, you know, you're going to be surprised at how things turn, right? The Eight of Pentacles says yes. Scorpio, yes, very passionate energy coming in for you. Sagittarius, I see yes with a Sagittarius, right? So the Three of Cups says, let's make things right. Let's get together. Let's have a good time. Capricorn, I see the yes with the Seven of Wands. So there might be some difficulties at first, but we're confronting them. Aquarius, yes, the Sun card, right? Falling in love and things looking really good with you and Aquarius. And Pisces, I see the World card for you, yes, which tells me with the Justice card, the Tower, the Star, the World card, you are going through some major closure, things coming together and things turning out very successful, but you're getting ready for a whole new chapter. And a lot of that is, you know, too, I feel like a lot of energy leaving Pisces and moving into Aries. And I feel like, you know, this chapter is coming to an end, just like this reading today. So let's pick the top chat and all right, let's see top fans. All right, I have Angel, Gigi, and Miss Cassandra. All right, so if you guys are still here, you guys, if you want a card pulled, I will. If you want to hand it over to somebody who never gets a card pulled, you can. It's up to you. But I know my mods are always going to be one of the top fans because you guys are always putting messages in there. So it's up to you. All right. So I'll pull a card for you for clarification. I can't scroll through, so just put it through right now as we're going forward. I didn't see it fast enough. Okay, Gigi's going to hand hers over. So you can pick, Gigi, who you want to hand it over to. I will, I can't put it on the screen. So Angel, I'll do yours right now, but in this, the way I have it right now, I can't really pin your comment, all right? So it's not gonna work. All right. All right, let's see. All right, so for Angel, energy for today. Let's see, energy for today. All right. You have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is telling me, Angel, right now you're again at pure potential. So you can actually clear the slate, clean the slate, right? And say to yourself, today, new thoughts, new day, new me, right? That's the Ace of Wands. That says, you know, we release what happens 5 minutes ago and we say reset, right? So you're getting a reset here, and you're at this place of what you choose to think about right now is where the direction of your life is going to go, all right? So you can do this. Now, the Ace of Wands, too, talks about potential for conversation, communication, maybe an idea coming to light this week, today. You're talking about today. So you are getting a new, fresh energy today, and you have whatever, you can do whatever you will with this energy, all right? All right, so Miss Cassandra. I can't. Okay, this is from Miss Cassandra. So you want clarity, clarify, no contact. All right. All right, and then if Debbie's gone, I'll do Joy. Let's see. All right, so this is from Miss Cassandra. Miss Cassandra. So you want clarity, you want clarity on no contact. Clarity on no contact. Seven of Wands. So I am still seeing there's a boundary set. All right. There is a block there for a reason. Somebody may feel defensive right now or just wants to cool things down. This doesn't mean that it means it's temporary, right? But it doesn't mean the problem's resolved. So understand that. So the block is temporary. You guys may confront this again, and it seems like they put a block up just to stop it from going any further. And when we're in a different energy, we can confront it again. But that doesn't guarantee that you're not going to have the same problem again. All right? So Joy. Let's do Joy. Does Joy have a question? This is for Joy. All right, Joy. I'm going to pull a card. I don't know if you've asked a question, but I'm going to pull a card for you. And so you can ask a question that's on your mind, and I'll read the card. Joy forever, 1111. All right, I have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man can talk about a pause right now. So maybe the best thing to do right now is just to kind of pause, stay quiet for a minute, and let things change. Because if you're dealing with a situation right now, it could turn out different than you think. But if you react right now, there's a possibility that we're reacting too soon and something's actually turning in your favor. So this reminds me of, like, you might think there's a problem today, but tomorrow you wake up and you realize, you know, it's not a problem because you took your focus off it, right? So when you take your focus off your problems for a minute and just see what the energy will do, it'll shift for you. All right, so right now you're being asked to kind of be in the silence, be in the quiet, pause before you react. I love you guys, and I'm going to end the stream, and I'll have timestamps up soon. Thank you all for being a part of today, and please go back and comment on the video, and also hype and subscribe if you don't mind, and take care.